Okay, here we're looking at the quotient. That means we're dividing, right? So here it says what's the quotient of 1.96 times 10 to the third and 1,400,000. That means we divide the two. I'm going to write it like this, 1.96 times 10 to the third over, and this number I'm going to write in scientific notation. It's 1.4 times 10 to the sixth, or 1.4 million. Right, 1.46 millions. I just do this, 1.4, not 1.46, times 10 to the 6th. I like to do this because now I can just line my terms up, right? These right here, we're dividing laws of exponents we subtract. So this is 10 to the negative third power. Here, this looks like a difficult division problem, but in fact, it reminds me a lot of 196 divided by 14. Right? 196 divided by 14 is just 14, because 14 times 14 is 196. And here, this is going to be pretty similar to that. The only difference is that instead of 196, we have 1.96, and we have 1.4. So this will change our answer slightly because 196 is divided by 100, and 14 is divided by 10. So how will this affect our answer? Well, when you make your numerator 100 times smaller, right, your answer becomes 100 times smaller. What's a good example? Let me see. So if I have 200, here's an example of this, 200 divided by 10. If I take 200 and I divide that by 100, like I did here, I know I divided by 100 because the decimal moves over twice, I would get 2, right? And what happens? What's 2 divided by 10? Well, that's 0.2, right? Excuse me, 1/5 of 0.2. And originally we had the answer 2. So when I made my answer 100 times, when I made my numerator 100 times smaller, the number, it's 20, sorry, the number becomes 100 times smaller. 20 divided by 100 is 0.2. So the first change we made, I think here, makes our answer 100 times smaller. But we're not going to get 0.14 for an answer, right? 14 divided by 100 is 0.14, because we're also changing the denominator. So going back to our example of 200 over 10, what happens if you make your denominator smaller? Well, here, if we take 10 divided by 10, we would get 1. So it would be 200 divided by 1. So this time we change the denominator. Well, 200 divided by 10 is 20. 200 divided by 1, though, is a larger number. It's 200. Hey, we're dividing by a smaller amount, so our number gets larger. So if we made our denominator 10 times smaller, our number becomes 10 times bigger. So that's going to also work here. So our number first, I think it was getting 100 times smaller. Then I think it was getting 10 times bigger. So the decimal moves back to 1.4, right? So that's our answer. 1.96 divided by 1.4 is 1.4 times 10 to the negative third. That's our quotient. In this one, we have an even easier scenario because, again, we take these two exponents and subtract them. Don't get mixed up by the negative exponent. 4 minus negative 8 is really 4 plus 8, or 10 to the 12th. 3.2 divided by 8 is a lot like 32 over 8. 32 over 8, that's just 4. 3.2 over 8, though, what happens there? Well, 3.2 is 10 times smaller than 32. So our fraction altogether becomes 10 times smaller, or 0.4. So here we have 0.4 times 10 to the 12th. But that's not in scientific notation, so we adjust it. Multiply this by 10, we get 4. Divide this by 10, we get 10 to the 11th, and that's our answer. All right, thanks.